Welcome to
SIP Talk.
Hello everyone, we are the Monthly Affair and welcome back to our podcast SIP Talk. I'm Alice and that's Curly.
Yeah, thank you for your support for our previous episode. So, Alice, what are we gonna talk about today?
Today we are discussing about is period a taboo in Singapore?
Oh, but what is considered a taboo?
So, a taboo topic is something that's often avoided for social reasons. Based on our research and personal experiences, I do think that period is a taboo in Singapore. It's actually the basis of our entire project. It being a taboo is why we'd like to raise awareness on this topic. So, without further ado, let's take a look at why period is a taboo in Singapore.
Yeah. So, as we all know, period is a natural process that many females will go through, but there are rarely any conversations about the stigmas surrounding period in Singapore. At least, did you know, according to UNICEF, a woman will menstruate for about 7 years in their whole lifetime?
A total of 7 years?
Yeah. However, many of them still face difficulties trying to be more vocal about their period experiences, and that includes those that require medical attention due to period problems.
Yep. In fact, we found an article published by Psychology of Women. Well, let me just read it out. After more than 30 years of teaching the psychology of women, one might think that nothing my students say or do would surprise me. Yet, I continue to be amazed by how little students know or understand about women's reproductive health. It is clear that they have had little access to reliable information, and much of what they know comes from popular culture and is based on stereotypes. For example, most of my students are unfamiliar with the term dysmenorrhea. While do you know what dysmenorrhea is, Curly?
I think I saw it somewhere, but I can't remember what it is.
It's on our Instagram page. So, it's basically period cramps. So yeah, it seems like these terms were not taught by many or too many, causing people to have limited understanding about period or period problems. Actually, during our research, we found out that MOE doesn't teach about the female menstrual cycle till late P5.
I remember we saw the Growing Years program for primary 5 and 6 students, and I think it was more focused on family and friends.
Mm-hmm. So, what kind of impact might this have? Let's hear one of our viewers' experiences.
I've never encountered a direct period shaming before, but I feel that there is a lack of education back in the days. So I was in primary 5 when my friend tricked me to toss a $1 coin into the pet machine in the toilet. And at that point of time, I didn't even know what pet was for. I didn't even know what dropped out of the machine in the toilet. And my friends who told me to use the machine laughed the moment a pet dropped out. I didn't understand the meaning of it and I just cried. So now that I'm older, looking back, I was wondering, why should one laugh and shame someone who buys pet at a young age of primary 5? We should all be more understanding that girls have period at different ages. It is just how different body works. And the shaming was just too much. Because of lack of understanding, you shame someone who didn't understand what period was. It's just overboard.
Oh, actually, my school had the same machine, but I didn't know that it sells pet until I was around P6.
Really? Mine didn't, but I've seen one at IKEA, and I think it's quite cool. Maybe we should propose to have one in our neon toilets.
That would be good.
Yeah. So, back to the story. That must have been quite traumatizing for her. For her to still look back at that incident when buying pets now, wow, what's that?
Yeah, actually, it also shows that there's still a taboo around period because she was laughed at just for buying pets. I think that's why it's also important for us to break the taboo now so that girls wouldn't have to grow up feeling like it's wrong to have their period or to buy period products.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, did you realize that when we see any ads related to period, it's almost always advertising for a period product like pads or tampons?
Yeah, I think so. I think most of them are advertisements that focus on the functions of the product itself. And right, I realized most of them uses this blue liquid instead of red, and I thought it was kind of weird.
Oh, yeah, I think Right? It's like related to the concerns that red dye could resemble period blood so much that it caused people's discomfort.
But doesn't that prove that it proves that some people still think period blood is something that shouldn't be seen?
Yeah, actually back then it was deemed as inappropriate, and there was like a ban on such films, advertisement and all in other countries. But now, especially in Singapore, there are no such bans, right? But if we take a look at social media posts right now, they still use those like alien like blue liquid instead of red dye.
Mm-hmm. I guess people are still not used to seeing anything that looks like period blood.
I mean, like, it's not actually period blood, but maybe replacing that alien like blue liquid to maybe alien like red liquid, that's really something that's doable.
I guess we can always start small.
Well, there's so much we would like to talk about on Sip Talk, but we are in fact running a bit short on time.
Yes. So to sum it up, at least do you think period is a taboo in Singapore? Same here. I think from people like me lacking the knowledge about period-related terms to being laughed at for buying pads, and lastly the avoidance of depicting period blood prove to us that there's still a long way to go for period to be normalized.
Yes, so as the monthly affair, we are trying to do just that on our social medias. So if you haven't already, do follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the monthly affair. 喜欢我们的内容的话，请到我们的小红书 at 月月有关注我们哦。And remember, if you think your symptoms are not per usual, please visit a doctor. Don't wait till it's too late. Don't be scared to talk about it. And on that note, thank you for having a cup of tea with us.
Yes, with that, we've come to the end of Sip Talk, and we hope to see you around. Bye bye.
Bye bye.